All right, we begin in 3, 2, 1. Hello, Patreon. Welcome back to Captain Logan After Dark. Tis I, Captain Logan, and joining me tonight is once again a panel larger than we ever have on shows people actually watch. To my right is Brandon Grimm.
Tis I.
To my over there is DJ Martinez.
Hello, hello.
And to his left, in Canada, is Austin the Day Ghost.
What's up, American dicks?
I need to work on my intros.
This evening, we're going to celebrate your helping keeping the channel afloat by swearing at you.
Fuck. Is that what we do on this show?
And eating
Shit.
on camera.
That sounds pretty good.
It's the Cap Eats Graham Crackers show.
I know, it sounds pretty good.
Are they animal crackers or just regular crackers?
No, they're
They're
graham crackers. It's not a regular cracker. It's
better
made
than
of
animal
graham.
crackers.
That's lame.
Graham
I think I like them equally, Brandon. But
Really?
I do like animal crackers. When I was a kid, and again, you can't find them anymore, but I wish they still made these. My favorite thing to make fun of was endangered species animal crackers. It was a box
Oh
of
my
animal
goodness.
crackers that was trying to shed light on the fact that there were a lot of species that might be dying out, and we need to do something about it. So in order to raise awareness, you were supposed to eat them.
Now I have to find out how many species did go extinct from that run of crackers.
They could just put them back out and rebrand it as extinct
Oh dear.
animal crackers.
You got the dodo, the woolly mammoth,
They all tasted the same too.
They should do an extinct
chicken?
bag of animal crackers.
No, like
and it's
animal
just
crackers.
empty.
No, like what, Austin? I'm sorry, he was being rude.
They should do. I mean, I was also being rude.
well,
They
that's
should do a extinct animal crackers bag that's just empty.
Canadian rudeness is always
It
nicer
just
than
has
American
a long
rudeness.
letter that you pull out that explains the extinction of the dinosaurs. Well, you just pull it out and it's like, there's nothing in this box because they all died!
Nice.
Tonight, each of us has brought a topic. We may not get to all of them as always. I'm almost certainly not going to go any longer than an hour this evening, so I want to go ahead and start getting right into topics. There's some crazy stuff going on upstairs with my wife and the twins, and she kind of needs help, but she's telling me to work anyway. I thought about having you guys just do the show without me, but she was like, no, go downstairs. So
That
we're
would have been an interesting
broadcasting
experiment.
for the 4 people that are here right now on Patreon. So thank you guys very much. Shh, don't tell my wife how nobody cares.
One panelist per viewer. We can have one-on-one sessions.
Yeah, let's
Checkers
split
is
up.
here, and thanks, because I don't know if he's ever watched one of these, or maybe he was here at the last one, I forget. But anyway, he's a patron, and we love him because he was on the game show, and he won that. We don't like him just for his knowledge, but it was really cool of him. It's really cool of him to be here. He says, I don't know what's going on there, and I don't want to know. Jonathan
Is that a
Ying.
graham cracker boy? That's like,
Why is he
Yeah,
off to the
it's a
side?
human animal cracker. And this is, I guess, from the Animal Crackers, the movie.
Oh wait, it's a
Missed
human
that one.
cracker?
It's so weird that you found that.
It's just a cracker. At that point.
No, he's like in the shape of a person. He looks like a Flintstones vitamin.
looks like Pinocchio as an animal cracker, which is
Anyway, just real quick, we just did a show tonight with Jonathan Ying, the creator of Heroes of the Grid, the Power Rangers board game that I'm obsessed with, and he was wonderful and really giving in that show. And Checkers just says Jonathan Ying was great, loved his point on motivation. Yeah, that was a great impromptu speech that he gave. Anyway, so it was just a lovely night, and I wish it could have continued
Now we're
on
ruining it.
even farther, but now it's degenerated into this. Yes, indeed.
now we're just stuck with these jabronis.
You know, I got some shit in my eye earlier and I can't get it out. And that's
Oh, do you have pink eye now?
Oh,
fucking shit.
Don't get it on Cap's crackers.
It's just, hey, don't get more in my eye here. Oh my goodness.
Wait, are you blaming me for this?
No,
Oh.
I'm just saying don't add to it.
Okay. It would be weird if you had multiple things all in your eye at the same time. That sounds gross. We're going to start with Brandon's topic because I'm sure it will be pointless and we can get past it very quickly. No, it's because he didn't get to do his last time, so he gets to start.
Well, I don't remember what that topic was last time. It was apropos for the day, but it's past. So the moment is past. No, today more. There's an element of space exploration. It all comes back to space, right? Element of space exploration where some people believe that if you're just going to be able to get to a thing faster in the future with better technology, then you shouldn't set out to try to get there now with current technology. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think
We've had this conversation, you know.
Yeah,
I believe.
a similar conversation. But do any of you think
This is interesting, uncharacteristic.
that that's a reason not to try to do something? Because I do not think, because I think we lose something at that point that is ultimately what helps us get there faster in the future.
It doesn't make any sense. It takes time to develop stuff.
Right, exactly. You can't just jump to that. You've got to go through the steps to get there.
Now, you have to have enough humility and enough realism to walk before you run.
Oh, of course.
So you don't want to be too ambitious, but to not be ambitious enough to go, well, we can't prioritize whatever it is we're talking about, space travel. I'm
Right.
sure is the first place that your brain goes
Oh, yeah.
with this, where it's like, well, if we can't go find, like, you know, new life, new civilizations right now or whatever, there's no reason wasting money, time, effort, whatever, in order to do the steps that will eventually get us to that place. But then I guess the important thing you got to decide is how important is it that we ever get to whatever it is we're talking about at all? Like, what's the reason that you want to do that? What's the motivation in the first place?
It's something analogous to this that is in effect right now is the Hubble Space Telescope, which was launched in the early 90s, versus the James Webb Space Telescope, which was launched on Christmas of last year.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Which it made it to its L2 point out beyond the moon. It's 1 million miles from the Earth, so it's like 4 times another 3 times the distance of the Earth to moon after the moon, and it kind of sits out there outside the influence of the reflection of the moon, and it can see farther back into time than Hubble could because it's looking in different wavelengths of light. But we had to have Hubble first before we could get to this point.
Yeah.
But to say that just because we're going to be able to do this now, that we shouldn't have done that then. Hubble revolutionized.
Well, you couldn't have gotten
science.
there anyway.
Right.
So
I am so, and this is an aside, but I cannot wait for the science to come out of the new James Webb Space Telescope, because it is going to do what Hubble did for us on a order of magnitude larger. The science is just going to be amazing.
don't you think that part of the problem? That's interesting. I didn't know about that. I have to look into that. Don't you think part of the problem, and I don't want to get political too much, but is, and not because I can't, but because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't you think maybe part of the problem is this idea that I think like it's kind of a government money problem to some degree, with where we can't look at the forest for the trees, and we're just dealing with whatever the immediate problems are. Just the way we spend money, like government spending. We're not concerned about what we're gonna have to deal with 10 or 20 years from now. It's just how do we solve like the most immediate problems, and then it's somebody else's problem down the line, or how do we get elected next time, that kind of thing.
Right.
And that sort of thinking, because what I'm saying is I think this is trickled into every aspect of society to some degree, where this is how the people we're supposed to in certain ways look up to live their lives. That's how they run the country. Is like the example that we set is let's not actually deal with problems. Let's put everything off.
Oh yeah, we've certainly gotten there very much faster than I thought. In ways in which I never thought we would. It continues to snowball. But we've had in the United States' past alone.
So we'll just live with like trillions of dollars of debt forever, and that's okay.
And we'll continue to do things we've always done, rather than do some of these other things that may be better. It might cost more up front, but would cost less in the long run and be better in the long run.
When parents do that with credit cards, you wonder why the kids grow up and don't know how to make their own money. Like,
Yes.
so I'm just saying that's the thinking that I think gets people to the place you were talking about, where it's like, that's how you end up with pollution problems and environmental issues and all of that. If you can't see it, it's not there.
So we've had a couple of times where this has been at great advancement to us and also huge setbacks to us, especially in the U.S. I'll give you a couple of examples. When John F. Kennedy made it a mission to get on the moon by the end of the 60s, and then he gave NASA the money to do it. I mean, these guys, if you really look at the
figured it
stuff
out,
that
yeah.
NASA was building at the time, this stuff is erector sets. Like, we're sending erector sets of things, just you build it on the fly, you design it right there, you get this thing, you have these companies that design these things. We could not build the rockets from the Saturn V rockets again because there's so much lost to how everything was done practically in the field. So we had these times where science was leapfrogged forward by people who understood, for lack of a better term, and to use a phrase from today, who understood the assignment of science, right? They set us forward by many decades doing this. But then you have the bill in the 90s that would have spent billions of dollars to build a super collider here in the United States, which eventually went to CERN near Switzerland. The CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, or Hadron Collider, depending on how you pronounce it. That collider was built because the United States didn't drop the ball in the 90s. We didn't fund it in Texas. If we had built that collider then, we'd be like decades more advanced today in science than we are right now.
And it's sad to say, but this is why sometimes business advances us quicker than anything else does.
Well, it's kind of why they opened up space to...
Because you have that immediate financial motivation to get things done, to sell products. And that comes with its own problems sometimes. Like, I'm not... this isn't me going like rah-rah capitalism.
Right.
But I'm just saying that you at least have...
It has its perks.
You at least have a motivation for that kind of ambition. And when it's government spending, sometimes if it's not getting anybody elected, it's hard to prioritize it.
Oh, absolutely. And it kills me to one sense how that has stymied progress in areas and helped progress in other areas. Like, you've got people out there who just don't care, and then people who ultimately care. And I think the current space race between Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson, they're each in it for a different reason. And Jeff Bezos' reason to me is it's self-promoting for Jeff Bezos. Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson really wants to get commercial spaceflight viable, because if you're able to take a flight up to space, circle the Earth, and get to you can get there in way shorter time than conventional, aircraft. And then, of course, Elon Musk wants to get us to Mars. These are all very different worldviews. Just and Elon Musk is the most universal view, if you will. I'd say Branson's kind of the spatial view.
The Mars thing is a little closer to let's get to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. And the moon will help us.
And because we need to have this...
Because we went to the moon,
kind of exploratory.
we can go to Mars.
So, anyway, real quick, I just want to... Because we're already like 15 minutes in the show.
That's cool.
And I just want to thank our audience for being here. And by our audience, I mean Austin and DJ. So, do you guys...
Space!
Fuck you guys.
So do you guys have anything to add to this discourse before we move on? Because I would love to keep talking about this, but I want to make sure everybody gets a turn.
Well, Canada still hasn't perfected Stomp rockets yet, so we're not exactly on ones that can fly by...
I cede all my time to Brandon this evening, because last time I derailed Cap's topic and talked and had nothing to talk about. So, Brandon, have all the time you need.
I mean,
I don't think we ever actually got to the topic that I brought up in the first place. It just turned into... And it's really funny, too, because when we did the religion thing, I started off trying to say, here's where I don't want it to go, which is immediately where DJ took it, and then that became an hour and a half of conversation. Thank you, DJ.
You're welcome. Anytime.
No, but
Me and Austin together will take the channel. That's what we're trying.
you can also see
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot in these people's views of the world.
Who are these people we're talking about? Because I agree with you.
Well,
but just what do you mean? What I was
about to say
What
is
do you
it's
mean, these
people,
people?
the ones who are doing the current space race.
You
You-
racist!
Specifically, if you look at Jeff Bezos, Jeff Bezos on 2 occasions after he came back from space the first time, thanked the Amazon workers and thanked the consumers for sending him to space. He said, basically, he's talking about standing on the backs of his workers
Yeah.
to get to space. His workers work in not the greatest conditions, and here he is elevating himself
Right.
literally above everybody. So I think
And
that
his cock rocket, too.
The little people.
yeah, and that's a tough pill to swallow, just to know that a person like that is in it basically for himself,
Right.
and he doesn't really understand what that. He doesn't have a grasp of it.
But I
feel
thought
like
you were okay. So this is what I thought you were talking about. I thought you were just talking about like lay people who don't understand what it takes to make progress.
no, that's it too.
But you're-
sidetracked into a narrower position, but
Your thought process is all over the place, but I'm used to it.
I mean, yeah, keep me on track.
No, it's cool. I was just wondering if you were talking about like the people in charge or the people who, or like just regular everyday people who
Well,
are like, I don't really care about how the sausage is made. I just want sausage, and it's like, yeah, but you can't just one day wake up and have sausage. It takes
It takes a
there's
whole
a process that gets us to where we realize that we can take an animal and get sausage out of it.
The supply line is literally millennia in the making.
I mean, maybe not for sausage.
Not for well, I mean, you can go back and find out when they made sausage, but like, no, you're absolutely right.
This metaphor
though,
breaks down
about
somewhere.
Well, you're absolutely right about these people. We've shifted from a society that I feel works better together to a society that's all about independent thought and your ideas are where it's at.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that
yeah,
also,
absolutely.
you have fewer and fewer people who are willing to work in a larger and larger group, which makes it problematic. They employed thousands of people to get the original, rockets off the ground across hundreds of companies. And NASA called on these people from different parts of aerospace and everywhere else. These days, you've got these specialized companies that now find these other companies that do this stuff, but it's a very narrow area. So I think that has a lot to do with
Isn't
that.
it weird that the more we don't promote individualism, the less we can all agree on anything? Isn't that weird?
That is
It's
weird.
like we all have to be able to be free thinkers and come up with our own ideas before we can find common ground.
Yeah.
It seems to be true, though.
Yes.
Checkers says he agrees with Brandon on this point, but earlier he also said this is too highbrow. We need to go back to Power Rangers.
Well, what else have we got on the docket?
Austin, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, mine was just complaining about people. So if somebody wants to go first,
What kind of people?
No,
These
we
people?
want to
these
know.
people,
Complain
we-
about the
Brandon
fucking
complaining
people, you
about?
goddamn Canadian. Do it.
fat black man.
Oh my gosh, Tom brought that up in the chat.
I saw that.
last show, and I was like, oh my, please don't do that, Tom. We have a guest, and he's not gonna know what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, and you know
Oh,
what?
like in a super chat?
Yeah,
No,
no, not in the
it's
super
low.
chat,
Yeah.
thank God. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm just out of force of habit. I accepted it, and I could have just left it where nobody could see it, but I didn't do that, and I should have.
That
Because
was
it
the
did
night
get
Cap
flagged
banned,
because he did say black,
Tom.
and that gets flagged because that's a bad word.
YouTube censors are going to be like, we have an increase of the word black over here, sir. We better check it out.
Yeah.
Enhance.
Yeah, I want to apologize to our black viewers, but your ethnicity is now a swear word according to YouTube. I apologize. I also
Especially if
apologize
you're
to
also
colors.
fat.
Just colors.
Hues in general.
Yeah. I apologize to hues.
I'm apologizing to the colors behind DJ.
So,
right
Austin,
now.
what kind of people do you want to complain about?
Specifically people that have no.
Or
What's that?
dogs. I don't know. I was just trying to.
We could just
somehow-
let the man talk.
Never.
Basically,
Oh,
that.
me and Brandon want to guess what his topic is. That's more fun.
Yeah, okay. You guys try to psychically.
Wait, are we
read
gonna
me
play
for an
Standard
hour.
Replicator to figure out what a person even wants to talk about?
I mean,
Sorry, Austin. I have been listening.
he's about to complain about people who don't listen.
Yeah, fuck people that don't listen.
That would have been really great if that was what it was.
Fuck people that have the letters D and J in their name. Okay, that's all those people.
I've got a D in my name. God damn it. Okay, Austin, I'm listening.
No, so I had to work with a guy today, and I'm gonna complain about people that like aren't sentient and are what they call NPCs.
Oh
because
yes. I love
Um,
looking these videos up on YouTube.
So I had to work with a guy today who had 3 statements that he could repeat on loop. Like, it was literally like a video game. You talk to somebody, they say a line, you talk to them again, they say
Yeah.
another line, you talk a third time, and then they just start repeating.
Yeah.
It was like that for like 8 hours.
Why did you continue to talk to him?
Yeah.
Because I got stuck with him.
So I wouldn't talk to him. I would
So
just
you
leave
got
him
stuck
there.
in the wall, like turning around,
Well, I
can't
mean,
move.
Me talking to him was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so when you say he had 3, I just want to break this down a little bit. When you say he had 3 phrases, was it like lengthy things where he'd pretend like it was the first time he was saying it? They're like diatribes, or was it like clipped, rehearsed responses? Because I can sympathize with the second thing to a degree if you had a person that was like really nervous and had an anxiety issue. Who?
No, I don't
like,
think it's an anxiety thing because he comes up to me like every day to ask me the same like things. Like, I think it's
Oh.
just this guy.
Okay.
But no, it's like so. The reason he was working with me was because his machine broke down, and he was just like, I'm working here because my machine broke. I'm working here because my machine broke." Just over and over. And it was like, "Yep,
Yep.
I know."
We got
Does
it.
he have a
buddy.
side quest for you?
Was he like waiting?
Fix his machine for 200 rupees.
Was he the kind of person that was waiting for a response where he just thought you didn't hear him?
No, because every time I acknowledged it, and he was just like, "Yep, I'm here because my."
So he
machine
had like a
broke."
reset button, or he just started starting
his
over.
cassette talking track?
That's
got
what I
caught in
was
a
gonna
loop.
say. Is we talked
Yeah.
about that like a week or two ago. He was one of those like Fievel Goes West.
A Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin,
It's
yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, because this guy comes up to me a lot at work and will tell me the same things, but I've never been stuck with him for a long like period of time. Because like for about 2 years, he'll come up to me like once a week to be like, "Hey, I saw this video where a guy had a tiger. Do you think he died?" And then he'll just walk away. And I'm like, "Okay." Also today,
And I
one
feel
of his
bad because
things
there's
was,
probably some sort of a mental condition there, but like I've had to deal with this. I've had viewers like this. I've had people that I've met in real life like this, and it's like I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to look like I'm making fun of you or something. But like I don't know how to interact without looking like I'm being facetious.
Real quickly, speaking of tigers, that tiger behind you looks like it's about to get real intimate with your right ear.
Oh yeah.
He's got that
Yeah.
look.
He's working those blue eyebrows.
But please continue as the tiger looks scintillatingly in your direction.
No, it's perfect because I love
Why do we
tigers.
keep
So
having
I
Grandma
like
here?
that.
I see the regret all over your face.
Why are you here? Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Austin?
No, that was basically my. It was a very short rant. It was just fuck people.
NPCs.
I support that last sentence. Well, I'm more of a monogamist myself, but at least one.
Yeah, like what was the other thing he said? Oh, he was like, "I've been working here for 25 years since 1997. I've been working here for 25 years," and every time I was like, "Oh, that's not something you should be bragging about. This is like a
Yeah,
dead
that's
end job."
sad.
That
So-
sounds disturbing.
So next
because
time,
it sounds like the job broke him.
Yeah,
I bet
well, then at one
25 years
point
ago he
was
wasn't like that.
Yeah, well, then at one point he goes, "In a couple more years, you can be here for like 10 years too," and I was like,
so you need
"Please
to
God,
take
no."
You need to take a couple of medallions in with you and trade him for a health potion, okay? Like, it's obvious. It's obvious what's going on.
When people say the NPC thing, I didn't realize that's what they were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
I thought
It's
they were
crazy,
just talking
some
about
of 'em.
people where like somebody else does their thinking for them. I thought that's what that meant.
No, it's basically just
Oh,
like
no,
a
you
like
should
a computer
Go down the
controlled.
rabbit hole of
The
watching,
simulation.
NPC videos.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Checkers says we need a Day Ghost video game based on this story.
That would be fucking awful.
You just go around
Yeah,
and talk to
horrible
shop
video game.
owners. I'd like to trade services, sir.
I think it should be Mario Party-esque, and they should all be mini games. You're walking around the same boring board that's just like an office with cubicles, and then you stop at cubicles, and then you play a really boring ass mini game.
Who can shovel the most snow?
Push down the stapler.
Oh God.
who can hold the most coworkers' attentions during the PowerPoint presentation?
Jeff
Oh,
had
that's not my boss.
Jeff had a game on his old Mac that was actually that. It was pushing down a stapler, and all it was you clicked the mouse and the stapler went down, and then you got a point.
Oh my god.
That's like Cookie Clicker. My
You
one
can
brother
do it
was
all
obsessed
day
with
long.
that, and he would just sit there tapping this fucking cookie, and he would get points for it. And I was like, "What are you doing? You're literally just tapping the screen."
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the game.
Crazy.
Okay, you meant from Star Trek?
Yeah.
The game is awesome.
Oh, I didn't know what you meant at that point. Yeah, no, you're right.
It's
you like
the
throw a
game
frisbee into a tornado? That's
with
awesome.
your mind.
Level 47.
Yeah, and it like makes you super horny.
You're right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because the whole thing is just sexy and
I hope that comes back in Picard season 2.
Oh.
I would watch through all of New Trek if they brought the game back.
Hey DJ, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, the game from Star Trek. Clearly,
You
that's
should
why
see
I'm
that.
here.
It's weird.
But you already talked about it, so
It's
yeah.
all because Riker's horny.
Jason loves that episode. I don't know why. I wonder if he's gonna hit puberty and be like, "Wait a minute,
Jesus.
I know what this is about." DJ.
It's about DJ.
It's about
No,
DJ.
I mean, what do you want to talk about?
I mean, DJ is horny
Cap-
most of the time.
Cap,
Is
why
that...
do you see a game about like making you horny and you're like, oh, that really sums up DJ. That
That's
really
not what
sums
happened.
DJ.
That's not what
Brandon.
happened. I was segueing very quickly.
Speaking of
DJ,
those who listen.
Cap was in the shower. He was like, games that make you horny. DJ.
Now you're now you're referencing not only inside jokes from after streams, but from 2 days ago. You don't even have us.
I think we should make it as disturbing for DJ as humanly possible. DJ, what do you want to talk about?
You know,
While I pretend to flag down airplanes. Wait, did you not bring a topic?
no, I didn't. I wasn't even planning to hang out.
Oh, well then I don't care.
Well, fuck you.
I don't care what you have to say
So
because
I
you don't
wanna
have to
talk
say anything
about-
to say.
I want to talk about Cap's topic that he has.
Oh, okay. Checkers says, "Have you talked about Star Trek 4 announced without the cast knowing?" I didn't know they didn't know.
Yes.
No, we talked about it on last week's Captain Logan show, but we
Wait.
didn't know that they didn't know.
I didn't know
What?
that. That's
I know.
fascinating.
It's amazing.
They don't
So
even have
Paramount's
contracts
gonna get
anymore. A
fucked
lot of them.
over, right? Because
thought
now
that I-
every single one of those actors is going to be like, pay us more.
Yeah. What were
Yeah,
they
why would
thinking?
you announce that?
Oh, I thought they got them all on board.
That was what all the outlets were saying. but
Yeah.
apparently that was
that's-
wrong. I didn't
oh,
know that.
man, I'm going to have to look that
I'll
up
have to
too.
look into that. Checkers. Thanks, man.
Paramount's trying to use the fan base against the actors because, like, oh, we already announced it. The fans are excited. You can't say
That's
no
been
now.
their MO for a long time,
Oh.
dude. They'll announce series just to either try to drum up fan interest and then see if people care enough to actually make the series, or more often what they'll do is they'll announce things that they don't even know if they're going to make just to make it seem like there's Star Trek stuff going on. To try to keep people interested, and it's awful. It's a bunch of bullshit. Checkers, Paramount is trying to force their hand. Yeah, that's what they do now. They're so desperate, and I don't know why, because there's no reason to assume that a fourth Star Trek movie would even make any money. The third one didn't, and it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Why do
Well,
they
it's
think
weird.
anybody cares anymore?
Well, it's weird.
They think 2009 was last Thursday. That's what they think.
Well, the Tarantino one was supposed to have that cast, and that was like 2 years ago
That's not
that
true.
they started.
That's not true.
When I looked into it recently, he was talking about that cast.
Tarantino originally wanted it to be in prime continuity because he didn't even understand that there were sort of two continuities. I don't think he ever intended on doing anything with that. And when his movie, like, I'm not sure what you read, but when his movie was first announced, it was supposed to be made along with a Star Trek 4. They were separate entities,
like,
man, as far as I understood it. I mean, I haven't looked into this stuff in a long time because I'm kind of done with current Star Trek.
Because I know his film was supposed to be an adaptation of the episode where the Enterprise like goes back in time to like the gangster period or whatever.
A piece of the action.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
If that's the case, I don't know how much of what you're talking about is rumor or real, honestly. But
It came from the
I don't
rumor
know. That's
reel.
the thing I was reading the other day.
okay, I never heard any kind of premise.
Yeah, but Austin also brought us the midget that looked like Gordon Ramsay.
That's true. He
So,
did do that. I don't know
No
what that has to
offense,
do with
Austin.
anything,
With much respect, I love you. You're great.
but you're wrong all the time, is what Brandon's
No.
saying.
That story is perfect, though. I do love that.
He's
No, the
got
only
us.
thing that was wrong about that was when he thought it was recent, and then wait, was that the thing, or was it a different thing? There was something where you were like, this thing happened, and then it turned out it was like 12 years ago or something. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
What
one.
was that?
I think that's what that was.
I'm pretty sure it was that, because I was
Yeah.
just like, this is a funny thing. I don't think I was like, this
Oh
is
yeah,
a-
it turns out that
like,
it was an
a funny
older
thing.
spoof article.
Yeah, that's what it
Which
was.
it was really sad when I found out it was a spoof article.
Yeah. Made for a
I
good first
cried
show
many a
though.
day.
Wasn't that the first After Dark we did? It was early.
Yeah, it was
That
the
one
first
of the
one we did with
ones that
Austin.
I was
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
So I want to rant about something I saw today.
Okay.
This is more of just an amusing story, I guess, than a rant. But this may be a slightly larger rant that can come off of this. I want
Was
to
it
talk about
these people.
yeah, these people with personalized license plates, and now I am one of those. But I'll be driving around
Part of
and
the
I'll see.
problem.
But when you read mine, you know what it says.
Yes.
Mine says Velociraptor. It's missing some letters because that word is longer than 7. Is everybody with me? So sometimes I'll read license plates. I can't remember what it was. I saw one today where it was like, it just looked like gobbledygook, and I was like, nobody's gonna know what that looks like. Why would you do that? And then I thought, wait a minute, maybe the person that got that license, I wish I could remember what it was, because trying to say it out loud was funny. It was like 2 T's in a row and then gobbledygook, and I was like, maybe the reason that people go for license plates like that is they know that there's nobody else on the planet that would think of that. And so they don't have to stand at the DMV going through a bunch of different things that other people picked. Because my wife had this problem when we did the Jurassic Park car, where I wanted something related to Jurassic Park. And the first, like, 3 or 4 things that I wrote down for her, knowing this was liable to happen, weren't available because other people had them. So, like, every permutation we could come up with for Clever Girl, it was all picked. We couldn't do that. And so
Just make it like 59938 ERS or whatever.
5590 ERS. I'm gonna steal that.
5590
I'm gonna steal that and put it on a license plate. Anyway, but I'm thinking, like, maybe some people do that on purpose. And it's like, well, then what's the point of personalizing it? Because nobody's gonna look at it and be like, oh, that's cool. But then to get one where you look at it and go, oh, that's cool, you got to go through a bunch of other ones because everybody else picked that. Especially if you're in like a larger area like we are, where there's a lot of people with personalized license plates. Well, I saw one today that I was able to read, but I don't know what it means or why anybody would think of it, except to try to come up with the thing that nobody else has come up with. I saw one today that said each of these is 2 O's. It was Shoo-Boo.
SH00.
SHOOBOO.
Okay.
Shoo-Boo.
It's because he broke up with his girlfriend. He was like, "Shoo, boo."
Yeah,
There you go.
I don't know what it means, but all I could think of was somebody goes to the DMV and they're like, I'll try to come up with something that nobody else has. I know, Shoo-Boo. And then I was just imagining.
Their name.
Yeah, that's
What
just
kind
a-
of car was it?
And then I don't remember.
Was it a
it was
Subaru?
it was an SUV of some kind. And then I just imagined somebody else going to the DMV and had
asking
the
for that?
exact same idea,
And didn't get
and
it.
they were like.
It's been taken.
They were like, I thought of something nobody else thought of. Shibu is like, nope, that's taken. And he's like, damn it. But then he finds the woman that came up with that, and they fall in love over Shibu because they're the only two people on the planet that came up with that.
That are named Shubu.
And then I was imagining like it's the license plate of a ghost. You know, who's like trying to get somebody they don't like to just go away, and they're like, shoo! And they're like, oh, that's right, I'm a ghost. Boo!
Shoe, boo.
Shoo! Oh, that's right, I'm a ghost. Anyway, but that, yeah, I couldn't get over
maybe
shoo
They
boo.
didn't have enough letters, and the E was taken, and it was supposed to be like shoe boot.
Shoe boot?
So
That would have been good. That would
I
have
mean,
been good.
maybe.
there's the
Right?
Shubu Trolley and Shuttle Company in New Jersey.
Well, it was Kansas plates.
Yeah, that's
But they were
all
probably
I'm
like,
finding.
well, we're not in New Jersey, so I know I'm going to be able
The
to do
Shubu
Shubu.
Shuttle.
Every
We're in New Jersey,
permutation of
this is a hot
Shubu in New
commodity.
Jersey has been taken.
Shubu.
Yeah.
Shibu.
We
I'm
should make a
probably
new
going to become
platform.
Should be
a
a-
personalized
Sounds like a-
plate owner
Sounds
next
like a
this year.
50s dance. Do the Shubu. So, Brandon, what are you going to put on your personalized license
So
plate?
my personalized license plate
And then I'll
is
tell you
gonna-
why it'll be taken.
is gonna
Oh, we should all
is gonna
say
so
what
I
it
have a big white 1995 Suburban, and it's gonna be PLR space BRR.
Wait, what?
PLR
Mhm.
space BRR.
I'm already not interested at all.
It's polar bear.
Oh. Hilarious?
I didn't come up with it, but I thought it was great.
Oh.
I didn't hear it. What did he say,
Oh.
Austin?
Polar
I
bear.
missed
It's
it too.
It's polar
I
bear.
was thinking about what mine would be. I was
Yeah.
too distracted.
Just because your car's white.
It's a big white. It's kind of big like a polar bear, and it's all white. You know.
Oh.
What would yours be, Brandon?
I just told you, it's polar bear.
Oh, okay.
No, we couldn't hear you. You guys were talking
Yeah.
over each other.
And I was thinking of what mine would be, so I was too distracted.
What is yours gonna be?
You get 7 letters, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it in Canada. I mean, you guys put milk in bags, so it might be different there.
Just because Cap said the TT thing, I was like, mine will be BIGTTS.
Nobody will have that, so sure.
Oh, that'll be one of the first that's taken.
I mean, Big Titty Bertha's got it.
Yeah, they
I'm
walk
sure.
in like, can I have a big TTs? That's how you do it. No, now it'll be Shubu.
I've seen
Shubu!
I've seen plates that had a bunch of 8s and the letter B's in varying orders, and that's to kind of confuse anybody that would report their plate. You're gonna report a plate, you don't know what the 8s and B's? Like, is that 88B8 BB
That's
or
awesome.
you know, up down left right BA? You know, you don't know.
You're gonna get a binary plate, right? You're gonna be like 110.
Oh, that'd be great. So actually I've looked into this before, but the episode title is 8 digits in the next gen.
It's 11001001, so yours would just have to have the 1 off the end of it.
Right, but that would mean
yes,
something
DJ,
different.
I know TNG episode titles so well. I can tell you the binar episode by the binary numbers. It's
I used to have that
1100. See, now I've thrown myself off, but I
You
said
said
it
it right
I
the
said it
first
right a
time.
minute ago. Yeah,
You did.
Jinx yourself.
11001001. That's what it is.
Who would win in a fight, though? That number or 50993 ERS?
Or 8675309.
Yeah, or that too.
DJ, what would your personalized plate be?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even care. I wouldn't even have a car if I didn't have to have one. I hate cars.
Yours would just be no car.
Yeah, if I lived in a city where I could just
No car.
walk everywhere,
Take
or
it.
like I would take the train, I definitely would, because I hate driving. When you have to drive an hour to work and then an hour home every morning, it's what? There goes
I
my
see a cat.
Yeah, I saw that
Jumped onto
too.
the shelf.
Just the pushy I was looking
No, DJs would just say DJ. Deejay. DJ.
I'm 100% sure that's taken.
Maybe. But think
You
about
should be
this.
the game.
There is a first person to get the thing.
He's more easy.
You could be that. Don't let that stop you from trying.
I live in Atlanta. There's like 5 billion people here. I'm sure there's not any personal license plates left.
5 billion people of the 8 billion people on the planet. That's cool.
So the story I'm about to tell is true, and I might have mentioned it on the channel before, but I can't remember, so I'm going to tell it again because it's relevant. This is too insane to be made up. So when I worked at the mortuary, there was a mortuary science student who was the second guy that I worked with there. During my tenure there for 2 years, we had 3 different people that all did the same job I did, coming in and out of the apartment next door. It was sort of like the dark arts teacher in Harry Potter. We just kept, there was a lot of turnover. And the second guy, kid you not, trying to get into mortuary. He was going to school for mortuary science, wanted to be a mortician. His name was Zach Coffin. That was actually his name. And Zach Coffin was insane enough with what he wanted to do for a living for his personalized license plate to say Coffin, which he parked behind the mortuary all the time. So if you drove by our mortuary, there was a car on the street right outside that said Coffin. True story.
That's great.
He should have had it as
Someone's calling.
like, U, the letter U.
It
and
was
then
a
R, the
prophetic
letter
name.
R, and then just dead. Just, you are dead.
Ah,
Your friends are dead. Your pets are dead.
That'd be awesome.
Anyway.
This isn't license plates, but I also love really terrible like bumper stickers that some people have. Like when I went to see Far From Home with my dad and siblings, we were driving away, and there was this like 70-year-old man driving a van, and his bumper sticker was "My couch pulls out, but I don't."
oh no. Jeez
It's like
Louise.
Why
Fuck
would
that
this
bumper
guy?
sticker.
He's just letting you know to stay far, far away. Like, it's nice. You know what, though? I will give him this. People that have no class that are that crass, I want to know about it before I have to talk to them. Like, it's actually nice to know of that.
It's a
'Cause-
warning.
Yeah, because if you park next to that guy and he gets out of the car, you just stay in your car a little longer. Like, now you know.
You're gonna get a door ding.
But if you ended up having to... Well, you can be 2 doors over. I'm just saying, if you see the guy in a parking lot, you just don't...
steer clear.
Steer clear,
Yeah,
precisely.
he
your
could have
car.
at least been honest though. Like he could have been honest and had a bumper sticker that says, "Unlike me, my couch doesn't need Viagra to work." That would have been more honest. But, you know.
So, DJ, what do you want to talk about?
Put me back on the spot, man. I got no thoughts.
Look, I got us here, which is an
See, this
unfortunate
is why I
place
was
to
talking
be.
about
Yeah, you
people
got
like
yeah.
DJ.
If
I-
only you'd had it. No, but you can't blame me. I blame you. If you'd had a topic that was interesting that we could have rode out for the rest of
We
the
got a
hour.
smackdown.
Well, no, he's too far away.
Oh. A verbal fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs? Why'd you say it like that? That was really
I don't
awkward.
know.
That was really fucking
Better watch
awkward.
out, DJ.
He's coming after you with the fisticuffs.
Verbally. Verbal
I
fisticuffs.
was watching a Powerpuff Girls episode with Freddie yesterday, and I forgot about this line. I cannot because Craig McCracken is certainly a dirty man, and I cannot. He is, and I mean he's got a dirty mind. He must. Yeah, he created Powerpuff Girls when he was in college, and he talks about how he was drunk all the time in college. And you can just tell like what his sensibilities were. And that show would sometimes go to potty humor places, which I didn't love, but it was few and far enough in between that I could deal with it. Anyway, there's this line that I cannot decide if it's intentionally supposed to sound sexual, and being, coming out of a Powerpuff Girl's mouth, you would kind of hope not, but it's just insane that it wound up in a show on Cartoon Network in the mid '90s, and it was allowed. So the Powerpuff Girls,
Got past the censors.
the Powerpuff Girls are, yeah, but I mean, it might not even been intentional, but
even
but
still.
the Powerpuff Girls are playing. It's a real cute episode. They're playing Powerpuff Girls inside in a rainy day. So they're pretending to be what they would be doing, out in public, fighting a monster. But inside, and like Bubbles is the mayor, and nobody wants to be Bubbles, so she's all sad. Nobody wants to be me, and it's great. And then they fight like Buttercup pretends to be a giant alligator, and then that Mojo Jojo sends a giant alligator to destroy the town. Like it doesn't make any sense. That would never happen in that show. But then you get to the very end of the episode, the sun comes up, and Mojo Jojo has sent a real giant alligator. I mean, it's fantastic.
That's great.
But there's this line where Bubbles where Blossom is being controlling like she often is, and she's like Buttercup, you need to wait and come here when I say, and when she's being the giant alligator, because she's building like a block tower or something, and Buttercup says, "Nobody tells me when to come." And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that was in a cartoon show.
That
So kind of
sounds
like
intentional.
The Animaniacs fingerprints joke.
Oh, I love that joke. That one's obviously intentional.
DJ's brain just
Oh, yeah,
exploded.
no,
I
but
couldn't tell
I-
if he was frozen
that got
or if
it.
he just couldn't even deal
He
with
was
the story I just
buffering.
told.
Just his brain was just like.
Did you say Animaniacs or Animorphs?
Animaniacs.
Animorphiacs. It's
Yeah.
time for Animorphiacs.
There's this joke where that she's saying that they need to dust for fingerprints, and he pulls out like Prince, the musician,
Formerly known as.
formerly known as,
I'm
and
familiar. I've heard.
I don't remember the last half of the joke, but I know that
Well,
joke.
The last half of the joke is usually the most important part of the joke, Brandon. Way to go.
Well, but it's
I don't remember the part that
fingerprints.
makes it a joke.
Well,
No,
it's
I'm
the
kidding.
prince that makes
I
it
just
the
remember the
joke.
part that
But
makes
why
it
is
a
it dirty?
question.
Go ahead, Austin. Hey, Austin, why don't you tell us a story that Brandon can't fucking figure out how to tell?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we need to dust for fingerprints, and they're like, oh, fingerprints, and she pulls out prints, and she looks at him, and she's like, I don't think so, and throws them away.
That's what it is. I don't think so.
I don't get it.
Because she doesn't want a fingerprints.
Oh.
Wait, did you really not?
Well, just the way you guys said it, like I didn't even put the words together
Oh.
quite right. Like, yeah.
Fingerprints?
I heard
or-
finger for Prince is what I heard. Like I didn't.
Oh.
Oh no,
Okay.
no, they're dusting for fingerprints.
Okay.
She
I
doesn't
heard.
want a
Okay.
fingerprint.
Not. Yeah. Okay, all right. No, it's that's pretty crazy too. I think those are equally crazy.
So they kind of
Yeah,
alluded to
SpongeBob
that
has like a
joke.
drop the soap joke in it. That's pretty.
Jeez.
I've heard about that. I don't know why I know that, but I've heard people talk about that. I
It's
don't
the only thing you know about it.
know. That's unfortunate. Mikey's been running around the house saying SpongeBob lately. He's never seen that show. I don't know why. I don't know why he's doing that.
That's,
He just
that's
goes,
got to be annoying.
SpongeBob. Yeah, it's weird. He does strange.
I love your kids, but like that's got to be annoying.
It's not the most annoying.
No, I mean he's done more annoying
Yeah.
things. Certainly.
He has this completely. Like we don't understand where it came from, why he keeps saying it. Sometimes he'll go months without saying it, and then it'll come back. But he has this weird phrase he says that is grammatically just not a sentence. And I mean, yeah, he's 3, and but I mean, he speaks in complete sentences. Anyway, I don't know where this came from, but it's my favorite thing he says. It just it's earwormy. It gets in your head. He'll go, "What the heck?" Well,
Wait, what just happened?
he goes, "Thanks, DJ." It's the worst kind of interrupting too. That totally.
Oh, I interrupted my.
That was the
That-
craziest sounding sneeze I've ever heard.
Is that what that was?
Mikey will go, "What the heck? What you do?" I don't know what it means, but he'll just do it over and over again. It gets stuck in your head. It's like this rhythmic thing, and like it's my favorite thing he says.
Interesting.
One day Sarah was just like, "No, but really, what does it mean?" The
They
heck
should
would
get
you
into
do?
like a back and forth where he says that and then she goes, "I amn't sure."
Oh,
God
my.
damn it!
Well,
Why do you
yeah.
have to remember things like that?
Because it's funny. My brain is fucking bullshit, and it's just full of
I
useless
agree.
info I don't need.
This is your brain on Austin.
No, that's me, Austin. Like I have not a great memory, and I feel like as I've gotten older, my memory's kind of gotten worse. I'm gonna suddenly get serious on us, but I'm actually pretty concerned about Alzheimer's for myself. It's a thing I worry about because I used to not really think about it. Where I was like, well, I keep my brain occupied. I write. Like I'm constantly noodling and thinking and stuff, but like I'm not a puzzle person. I'm not like a visual person, and so like I worry that there's a whole half of my brain that I'm not using enough. But more than that, Sarah's grandmother, who was a writer. It wasn't her main occupation, but she wrote books in her older age. Who did puzzles all the time. She was that kind of person, and was writing a lot, reading a lot. I thought totally keeping her mind occupied. She has dementia really bad, and like doesn't remember who I am. It's that, and then after that, she's got nothing a lot of the time. Like I
You
was
just kind of revert back.
when she still lived at her old house, because she's had to be put in a nursing home now. But when she still lived at her old house, the last time I was there for a Christmas party, we used to do the yearly Christmas parties. We did one more, and she was confused about who I was and why I was there, and bothered that there was a stranger in her house. And she and I used to have long conversations about writing. We got along really well. We talked all the time, and I'm like, oh, like this family member that was also a fellow writer. When she got into her 80s, late 70s, gets hit with Alzheimer's that bad. I worry about that for myself. I don't know how I got to that, but that's the thing I worry about.
My wife's grandmother has Alzheimer's on her mom, or dementia, and she can't remember like anything. And like every time she comes over for family stuff, she like meets me for the first time. And my wife's really scared that she's gonna get it. Or her mom. Her mom might get it too.
Yeah, it doesn't run in
Yeah.
our family. I think crazy might to some degree run in our family. Not crazy, that's not fair. And I'm not even joking when I say that, but like there's bipolar and stuff that I worry about a little bit. But
Same in my family.
that was insensitive. I shouldn't have said it like that.
Lots of diagnosed crazy in my family.
But my mom's mom, especially in old age, was pretty out there.
Well, I'm lucky for that because most of my family members die early, and the only one who didn't has better memory than I do. So
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's the
So
boat
you're on
I'm
the
in.
downhill
the
slide already.
anecdotal evidence tells you that you'll be fine.
Does
yeah,
it?
I'll get to die before then. So it's perfect.
Either you'll get to die before then, or if you see 90, you'll at least still have your memory intact. But I mean, it's one person.
God, I hope I see 90. I hope to see 120.
Oh God, I don't even
Jeez.
want to see 40.
Sure.
I'm so of two minds about that whole thing. Like, there's a part of me that's like, I want to be at my absolute best when I die, so that everybody remembers me that way. I've always wanted to kind of go out in a blaze of glory. There's a part of me that has that, where like
Well,
I don't want to just die in a deathbed. I want to get hit by an oncoming train. I want something like crazy nuts that I'll be remembered for.
You're not
But-
thinking though. Your best
But
days
then
are behind you.
But then the other part of me, thanks, Brandon. That's probably true. But then there's another part of me that is terrified of death. We've had this conversation on the show before, and that wants to ride out as long as I can, and that kind of wants to see if the technology is ever going to get us to a place where we will be immortal, or closer. My worry is that I'm going to die the year before we figure out mortality.
No kidding.
Or before you can put your brain in a robot or a computer or something.
There's gonna be
Put
that
it in a
person
monkey.
if you think about it.
But my plan, unless I go with because again, I'm Jekyll and Hyde about this. If I go with the Hyde part, and can kind of see the benefits of dying early, then I won't have this. The Jekyll part of me wants to try to write it out and see the year 2099, just so that I can see if Marvel actually commits to all of that.
My dream way to go is so I don't want to have kids, but in this dream scenario, I will. I have kids, I've got lots of money, and I'm like, I got all this inheritance for all of you, and then I invite them to a spot, and it's just me on top of all the money, and I'm like, here's all of your inheritance, and then I light the money and myself on fire, and they just get to watch it burn out.
So you're an anarchist.
I
I like how his
You wanna
dreams
go
and
out
his
like a
goals are
slough.
completely desperate from each other. So that never
They're
happened.
desperate.
Disparate,
You said desperate.
did I?
You did.
Oh.
Speaking of pronouncing things like a stupid person, Checkers.
Ouch.
Checkers in the comments says, "I will lighten the mood."
Yeah, I'm just the one who brought the most cerebral commentary earlier.
I'm talking. Yeah, and Checkers didn't like it. He said it was too highbrow. He just said it again. I pronounced Alzheimer's like all-timers for way too long.
I used to call it old timers.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
There was a thing I was thinking about today that I used to
Do you
always
think Gary
mispronounce,
Oldman
but
is
now I can't
happier
remember
as
what
an
it
old
was.
man? Like, if your last name was Oldman, but you became a popular actor when you were like 20,
A young man.
you know, and you're like, okay, someday I'm gonna grow into this name. Like, at this point, you think Gary Oldman is happier being an elderly man? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Maybe.
What were you saying, Austin?
Oh no, I was saying there's a word that I was thinking of today that I used to always mispronounce, but now I can't remember what it was.
Dickhead.
Oh,
It was stupid, anyways. It was a worthless thing to say.
There's a that's
Thanks
okay.
for adding nothing
This,
to the
this
conversation.
show should be called Filling Time. The show. Brandon,
Can
there's
you write that theme song?
there's a news anchor in the animated Tick named Brian Pinade, but his last name is spelled Pinhead.
All right. Nice.
So I'm Brian Pinade, and then the other the other news anchor in that show is Sally Vacuum.
Interesting. In the show Scrubs, there's a character that they're always referring to as Dr. Beardface. Like, nobody really knows his name. He's got a beard on his face. And it turns out in a later episode...
That's where you'd have it.
the later episode, he goes, it's Beardface! So his name is Beardface, but they've been pronouncing it wrong as Beardface.
But it
It'd be
wasn't
funny if his
Face?
name
I
was
would have said
Beardface, but he
Face.
didn't have one.
I just made that joke better. Sorry, what, Austin?
Yeah, so it'd be funnier if his name was Beardface, but he didn't even have a beard.
Or a face. Funny if he had no face.
Oh, like Indiana Joe from the Mario show. He's just
Sure.
like blank.
I don't remember that anymore. Checkers, I thought filet mignon was... I thought filet mignon was filet mignon into my 20s.
Oof.
You know, you don't have to admit to these things. Like, we don't... You know... I mean, we're all friends here.
You know,
like, that's cool. Like, I
didn't-
did stupid shit like that too. When I was a kid, I've said this before. When I was a kid, I thought Scratch was a brand. Whenever your parents would be like, your mom, it's like, oh, I made this dinner from scratch. I look through the pantries trying to find like registered trademark. Like, where's the box that
This
says
is Scratch. Up until a couple of years ago, I didn't understand that the slogan for K Jewelers, "Every Kiss Begins with K," was referring to not only K-A-Y-K, but K is the first letter of Kiss.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it till like 2 years ago. I've been living that my whole life, so as long as we're admitting to stupid things stupid people don't get, you know?
See, that reminds me of the loophole that Michael Jordan has with there is no I in team.
Okay.
Do you know about this?
No, but I know a loophole.
I love Michael Jordan's loophole as you know, obviously the greatest basketball
That sounds
player.
like a slang sex term, but
He'll
okay.
go. He'll go. There is no I in team, but there is in win.
Oh.
I love that.
Nice. Nice.
You can't argue with that.
No, you
You
can't.
can't begin to argue, especially if you're Michael Jordan and you win games single-handed. You can't argue with that.
Nope.
Well, if it's Michael Jordan, he could just be like, "There's no I in team, but there is an I, and I carry the team."
That's true too. Sure.
Yeah.
There is an I in all the money I made you. Doesn't have to make sense. I'm worth billions of dollars.
There's 9.
Now he's thinking.
Ah, Illuminati. There's an eye in Illuminati. It all comes back to
Okay,
triangles.
We're right at an hour, and I've got to get going. So we're gonna go round robin, and I want everybody to give me a brilliant notion.
Brilliant.
To consider. There's an I in that too. A couple.
How many is a brilliant?
I want. Shut up. I want everybody.
There's no I in team, but there's an I in make like a tree. Go make like a tree and fuck off.
I want. I'm not even gonna mute the mic.
You killed it.
As I cough out a lung.
Okay, so I'm
There's
gonna.
no
end-
eye in lung.
trying to end the show, Brandon.
I'm
We're
cool.
gonna go round robin,
I'm
and I'm
cool,
gonna
guys.
give everybody the opportunity to leave the audience with an interesting notion to think about over the next 2 weeks until we see you again. We're looking for oceans of notions, and we're gonna start with Austin. Austin.
Oh, why do I have to start? Can I go last?
Sure, you can go last. Brandon, you go first.
The universe is so expansive that it may actually fold in onto itself, meaning if you could go that way indefinitely, you'd end up where you are now.
Yeah. DJ, what is your notion?
My notion?
Yeah. Do you have a
Does
notion?
it have to be science related? Like
No,
He
no, not
puts
at all.
the lotion on his
Any sort of notion, just something thoughtful.
Oh, I got none of that. I don't know.
It doesn't have to actually be thoughtful. Just work with me here. Just say a thing, okay? All you have to do right now. Hold on. No, nobody actually listen to this. All you have to do is say a thing, okay? Just say something. Okay, go ahead.
Give us some wisdom.
Go ahead.
I don't respond well to being under pressure.
That was profound and related.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. DJ's tired tonight.
We learned something
DJ probably
new
should have
about-
went to bed and not stayed because I feel like I am adding nothing to the conversation. But I will segue to Austin.
Well, no, he's going last.
Oh, sorry, Cap.
Oh yeah, Cap go.
It's my turn.
Austin's
Cap
like,
say
yes.
something.
Cap has the calm.
Say something.
You're older.
You have
than
the talking stick.
You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older. That's a Team BG song. Okay, go ahead, Austin.
You tell me we could just quote songs.
Birdhouse in your soul.
No, you can't copy me. You had this whole time to think about it.
Trees make air and cardboard. Noodle that for a minute. Why don't you?
I want to thank all the patrons for wasting their time listening to this. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks with another one. Lots of cool things going on the channel this week. Pop in, stay tuned. Austin and I tomorrow night are doing a mini marathon on Animated Tick with the Jeff. So come in for that.
Wow.
We're very excited about it. And then, and Austin, I've already seen. So Jeff's picking 3, and I'm picking 3, and I've already seen his picks. And he's doing one that I'm very excited for you to see if you haven't seen it, because it's insane. Anyway,
I should state I only have the first 2 seasons. I don't know if that'll be like an issue.
I don't know if we're picking anything from 3, but I can give
3
you.
seems to be harder to get.
But there's a couple of guys that have really good transfers on YouTube, so you won't have any problem. That's how I used to watch it for the longest time until Hulu got it. So are you sure that you don't have it on Disney Plus through Hulu?
Yeah, it's not on there.
No, it's not on there. Okay, but like I said, you can get it on YouTube, and you won't have subtitles. But anyway,
Oh, I never watch with subtitles anyway.
which I don't understand. But anyway, well, thanks again for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again real soon. I was Captain Logan, and we had Brandon.
I was
and
the
we had,
knowledge blaster.
and we had Austin.
The knowledge blaster.
Yeah.
Blasting
Oh,
knowledge
God,
over
that's a sex name right there.
here.
And we
The
had
knowledge blaster
and we
has
had
arrived.
DJ Martinez the Third.